Oh, it's good. So, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long today. Man, I downloaded me some old school Outcast. Charged the batteries, hit the streets, man. And I went through that gauntlet, man. I went through the lion's den today. After showing my face a few good times, stopping and talking with KB again, letting them know, man, from the bottom of here, man, I keep forgetting to bring cash. I'm not a cash carrier, man, but I know he's on his hustle, on his grind. If I can buy a couple sodas every time I see him, man, I think that'll help him, help me gain his trust. So maybe one day I can feature him in some work. But right now, he's still a little standoffish. Cause I think he's a little wary of me with the camera. I don't know what it is with him, but everybody else seems to be okay. But at the same time, I honor that. I'm not going to force it. But yeah, man, I walked through there, man. There's I don't know what it was, but it seemed like the theme of today's work, there was a lot of dogs. So for some people that feel like some of these people don't have hearts, they don't have conscience, they don't have sympathy and everything, compassion, they do, man. They toting dogs, you know what I'm saying, and hugging on them, loving on them, because for some of them that's all they got. I have a couple dogs. One just turned 11 today, matter of fact, and it's nothing like seeing that tail wagging and the body language of just pure joy and elation when you walk through the door. Humans can sometimes hold grudges and don't want to really fool with you when you come home. Just saying. But the dog will always be there, and I can understand the companionship. Sometimes I question, if you can barely put food in your mouth, what's the dog eating? And then you're having to feed the dog. Maybe the dog is eating a portion of the food you could be nourishing. So, but I can't question that because I'm not in that situation. So I understand that they need that companionship. I was able to get up close, personal with a couple people, and I think once you break the ice with one, more come and more receptive, because they're all watching. Trust and believe me, they're all watching you. Because they get told to skedaddle a lot. I talked to KB, and he basically said that the police, he woke up to the police basically kicking them out of that alleyway, and because they're building a brand new building right next to them, or they're refurbishing a building to turn it into something else, and all them in that alleyway just ain't really jiving with what they trying to do with building something down there. So they were asked to leave, but it's like, where are they gonna go? Shelters are full. It's starting to get cold. The city is growing, but they're like degentrifying it and taking old and building new, but kicking them. Where you want them to go? That's just my question. To the city, to the people. Where y'all want these people to go? They're here. They're in our face. I'm showing you they there. For those that walk past these alleys and lock your doors, right? I walk through it. Where y'all want them to go? It's just an honest question. So that's why hopefully I can document what's going on down there and get some eyes on it to say, you know what, this is the problem. What's the solution? Right? And I'm willing to sit down and talk with people and document and raise funds or whatever I got to do on my end. But first, the right amount of eyes got to be on it to know that it's a problem. I know it's a problem because I walk through it, and it's a hornet's nest. Right? It's one of the hornet's nests that you tiptoe through. Right? You tiptoe through. You don't want to really Step on no toes. You don't want to piss nobody off, because trust and believe, they all will mob together when it comes to something like that. There were a couple of skirmishes down there, a couple little drug fits, and people acting very erratic. And the piece of equipment I'm walking around with ain't cheap. So it's a matter of making sure that I'm making myself presentable and I'm being respectful. I give them their privacy. I respect them as people, as humans, no matter what my situation is compared to their situation. Because like what was it, Dave said the last time, I was down there, when I talked to him about how he ended up there and how so many of them ended up there. And he basically said very pointedly, he's like, most people are one decision away from being down here with it. They're one missed mortgage payment away. They're one getting fired from their job moment away from being down here with us. So when you think about it in that light, he ain't wrong. Some of us are ice skating financially with what we got going on. And one misstep, one bad decision, one decision to trust and try to start a new business venture, and it goes wrong because you didn't do enough research, or you try to do it with the wrong people, and you could be right down there. Right, so we have to really understand the fragile nature of how people get in those situations. One bad hit, one laced hit with fentanyl or whatever the case may be. I ran into a fentanyl addict there. I think his name was Addict. Not Addict. Wow, stupid. Pause. His name was Hunter. He basically told me he was, partying with friends in Arizona and he got hooked on this shit, man. And he looked like he broke out of the damn hospital that's trying to help him, but he's so hooked on the shit, he broke out of the hospital. I'm like, bro, where you coming from? Oh, the hospital. They let you out, or you broke out? Oh, I broke out. How did I know? Stu look at everything. As a photographer, as a person, as an army soldier, as an infantryman, my situational awareness is very keen. And he had a blood pressure cuff on his arm. The two hoses coming out of it were cut. Still had the bracelets on, still had just looked like he straight still had looked like they took all his clothes off and put him in those little cloth type clothes. He was wearing those, holding a sign. Our image is coming now. So yeah, he broke out of the damn hospital because he's so ready to get back to the streets and fulfill that addiction. And that's sad, but at the same time, that's reality. It's raw, it's ugly, it's in your face, it's real. So I try to show that. And I stopped him. I said, man, can I get a picture? Had a skin infection, scabs all over his face and nose. But that's just where, this kid looked like he's probably 25, 26 years old. He damn sure wasn't in his 30s, for sure. Probably mid-20s, if not younger than that. That type of lifestyle will wear on you quick. And so it's just one of those things where I like to walk the streets and I like to be able to get down there and tell the story of those that are, I call it the underbelly, even though maybe that's not the most elegant thing to call it, but that's just what I call it, right? These people are forgotten. Some of the people down there, people probably wish they just disappeared and don't have to deal with the problem no more. But guess what? They can't. You can't just make people disappear. You have to come up with a solution and figure out how we, as people that are doing a little bit better than they are, can help raise funds, fundraisers, put more eyes on it, figure out how, the whens, the wheres, how to get the shelters not to be so overly populated. And I understand it's a balance, but hopefully my work can document what's going on in this time period, what we got. I know it doesn't overshadow what's going on in Florida with Hurricane Milton and all those things, but it's still something we have to deal with here in El Paso. So once again, it's Stu, the street walker. Enjoy the images. Peace.